Afternoon, fellow traders. Black Coffee Trader coming to you. It is, what is today? Today is Thursday, May the 2nd. Goodness, I had to think a little bit. Yeah, today was an interesting day for me. Pretty big red day, but I am not that disappointed with today at all. Only took 6 trades with the funded accounts. I was copy trading pretty much the entire day. In fact, I was copy trading all 6 for the first several trades of the day, and then I broke them into groups of 3 for the final couple trades. But today was an all lose day, and I'm not, I was just looking at this, and I'll break this down. Not that disappointed at all with my entries. I like my game plan. I like the thought process. Today's summary was I was just wrong. I was just wrong. And it's one of those things where I believe we're going to have days like this as traders. But let's take a look at trade Zilla. This is today down 4,400. No winners, all losers, unfortunately. And it shows we have 27 trades, but that was because of the copy trading. I only had 6 entries today, which I was very, very happy about. I'm trying to be a lot more careful with when and where I'm entering. Looking at the month, yesterday, today, as far as my goals here of improving the win rate or the average win-loss trades, obviously we did not do any good today on the winner side, but overall this is a little bit better than where we've been. But yeah, down 4,400 today. Let's look at the year to date. And as we can see, the largest day in quite some time. Actually, the largest loss day since I've been tracking on TradeZilla. And it's crazy because I don't feel I don't have one of these, like, I'm not mad, I'm not super frustrated. It's just I understand what happened. I understand why today didn't work out. And I'm okay with it. So let's jump right in. I didn't take any trades on NQ on the funded accounts today. I traded everything on ES and took 1 oil trade. However, I do want to point this out. I put this magenta colored line in today just because this was a level that I thought might come into play today, and we kind of bounced around that level for the most part during the middle of the day. We did have or would have had a really nice entry here. This was a really nice, this red line is yesterday's low, and this morning we bounced right off of this low around the 10.15, 10.10 area. So that would have been an excellent long opportunity. And I wasn't at that point. My funded accounts were not in the best position already. I did most of the damage pre-market, and I just wasn't looking at that trade at all. So anyway, but it was there. Let's dive into the trades themselves. This is ES. I took a couple of trades this morning. There are 2 trades out of today that I am disappointed with. The first trade of the day, the entry there, and then trade number 4, which I had an oil trade here, and that was trade number 3. And then jumping back to ES. So this is trade 1, trade 2, trade 3. The oil trade was trade 4, trade 5. This entry I'm not thrilled with. The other ones I would retake those trades. I'll walk you through what my thought process was on those trades. So let's dive right in. So obviously we're looking at this 5082 level on ES as a key level, and I was looking for this to reject this morning. I'm not opposed to taking pre-market trades. It's always, I like to take trades during when the market is open, but if the setup is there or the level is being tested, I'm not opposed to taking these pre-market trades, and I've done very well with them at times. This morning it just didn't work. So I talked myself into this trade a little bit, and this is where the anticipation of a move potentially happening, if you followed that logic, is an error. And that was the error for the first entry of the day. So we made this move up, rejected, and we were moving up again, had this big candle. We had a big green candle, and then we had this long wick. I entered on that candle as a short, and I should have waited for better confirmation. And what I oftentimes catch myself doing is I will mentally tell myself, oh, I don't want to miss the move down. because I don't want to enter when the move's already happened. I want to enter on these levels, and if that makes sense. And it's just it's a bad habit that I have, and I have to avoid that. But that's kind of the premise behind this trade. Well, it ended up being a loser. We pulled back to this level exactly, and I felt strongly that, okay, we're going to reject, and entered short, and that trade ended up not working out. And then if you look at this, we have, let's see if I can draw this in. Is it this one I want? So here we have a move up, move down, move up, move back down. And so what I was looking was this textbook test and go long. That's exactly what I was looking for after these two trades had failed. So I entered here on, I entered here on a long and looking for this to happen, and it just simply didn't. And that ended up being a loser. So 3 trades over the span of about, 45 minutes, a $200 loser, $200, $150 loser, $112 loser, down, $400, call it $400. So again, in hindsight is always, it's always 2020. But part of me wants to, I'm distracted here. Let me shut this down. I know I'm critical of myself for this entry. Kind of critical on this one. I'm okay with that entry, and I'm totally okay with this entry. It was just wrong. The level did not hold, and we continued this chop session. We had a big rejection at the open, and again, this is not quite as nice as it was on NQ, but this is yesterday's low. We had a nice bounce, but I then took. Let's jump to oil. Let's stick to yes. So the last 2 trades of the day, this one again is one that I shouldn't have taken this entry. Again, I was looking, we were trading in this channel pretty much all day on both ES and NQ. And we finally had this breakout, and we had a bit of a pullback, and I thought, all right, I'm going to get in short looking for this rejection once again. Did not happen, got stopped out. And then we had a major rejection here. And I just kind of watched this, and this kind of consolidated, and to me, it just looked like, hey, this is going to reject finally. I took my entry near the top of this little range, and I would take this entry all day long. For the way I trade and what I'm looking for, it's just kind of textbook. And I was just wrong, and I had my stop pretty tight at $125 loser on that account, but that was the last trade of the day. So I think this was traded with one of the section of 3 or one lot of 3 accounts, and this was the other lot of 3, and that was pretty much it for the day. And obviously it just didn't hold. Looking later on in the day, this was the trade of the day. This was the area where what I should have been trading, but obviously I didn't have any accounts to trade. I could have taken another trade, but mentally I'm like 600. I want to stop trading, and a couple of these accounts ended up, they were at like 570 or 580 when I took the trades, and with another $200 loss, I put them up to almost 800. But this was where it was at. We finally, this entire day. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Whoops. This is the 5-minute chart. This entire day from pre-market, we had we rejected this level 4 o'clock in the morning. We came back up. We kind of rejected it. This is a bit of a fake out. This hole where I was trading, this is a fake out, and that's really what got me. We had another fake out. We had a big rejection at the open. So this happened. This was the early part of the day. Then we have this whole chop session. We come right back up, and we reject, and then we don't reject. We continue on through, and then we get a beautiful, beautiful test and long off that level. That was the trade. And hindsight is 2020. Looking back, I should have just been patient and waited for this. I shouldn't have taken those trades, but again, at the time it looked good, especially the second one. I really was confident in that trade. And here's something worth pointing out. I had an opportunity to get out of this trade with 160 in profit, and I almost did. But because of the amount of loss I already had on the accounts, I decided to hold and try to get more out of the trade. I was either going to take the loss and be done for the day or get a maximum amount out of the trade. So that was my theory of why I didn't take the profit that was in front of me. The other thing is I have a very bad habit of moving my stop loss into break even or into like a $20 or $30 winner. And then the trade comes back, takes me out, and I have a few dollars in profit, and then it continues the way I'm trending or the way I'm trading. So for those reasons, I just left that trade. And it wasn't a long trade. I'm in 11, almost 12 minutes. But I had that opportunity. I mean, here, almost no drawdown, immediately down into $160 in profit. And, you know, I should have probably taken that in hindsight. 150, 160 bucks is a nice profit, nice, you know, nice trade. I was looking for the $300-400. I wanted it to come down to this level right here. That was what I was looking for, and it just, you know, I was wrong. But anyway, that's the breakdown of that trade. Now let's look at oil. I would take this oil trade every day of the week. I was just wrong. That's all there is to it. So oil, let's look at the 5 minute, get a bigger picture here. We had kind of a similar pattern with oil, kind of a chop pre-market. We had this one level here that didn't really hold. And then we had this major breakdown, and then we had some chop. So the red line you see, let's go back to the 2 minutes, a little bit more clear. The red line that is faded red line that's in my level, this is yesterday's low. So I watched this bounce, and I wanted to take some of these trades, but I just wasn't confident enough. And oil is it's just a different animal from NQ and ES. Sometimes the moves are really slow. Sometimes the moves are really, really fast, and it's a different beast. Those of you that trade oil understand that. But so I watched this pull all the way back down, and I thought here that this thing was going to reject once again, and we're going to go long. But I waited, and I'm going to just wait. Well, we broke below yesterday's low. Candle body closed. I watched this candle entirely, and then this candle here, we had started to have this pullback, and I thought, okay, now's the time to enter. This is a breakdown of market. We're below yesterday's low. We're below this 78.85 level. Perfect short entry. I'm taking this. And you know, and then we had this big wick. This to me looked like, okay, big kind of a, you know, trap in the shorts, and then we're going to be good. And I was just wrong, and this market decided to go back up. And we just have a big move back up, and I ended up with a $240 loss. That was my biggest loss of the day. I actually moved my stop even further after this candle because I thought, well, I'm going to give it a little bit of breathing room so that it can do its thing and then eventually break down. Well, I needed this stop to be up here at like 400, which I'm just not comfortable taking that big of a loss. Had I been, you know, that trade would have worked out and I could have got a little bit of profit, but then we just kind of chopped around on oil the rest of the day. But yeah, that was, you know, I'm not that disappointed with the day. It's, you know, yeah, it looks bad on the P&L. It's $4,000 loss, but I was careful with my entries. I took my trades around my levels, which is what I've been wanting to do and trying to do, and I have been doing for the most part with my funded accounts. And the trades were I was just wrong today. That's all there is to it. You know, in hindsight, there's two trades here for sure that I should not have taken. The entries were suspect, this trade and then this trade this morning. But what I was looking for here, this is fairly textbook, and it just didn't happen. So, and as a trader, you know, we're going to have those days. And so I'm okay with it. So yeah. That's today. We'll see what tomorrow holds. Hopefully we can have a better day tomorrow. And, you know, here's the other thing. Copy trading 6 accounts and then 3 and 3. You know, we had a big red day, $4,400. But you know what? I could have a $4,400 profit day as well. You know, it is what it is. So anyway, that's a nutshell. That's a wrap for today. Hope you guys did well. Once again, thanks for using my codes with whether it's Take Profit or Apex. Appreciate you guys doing that. If you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe. I try to do these videos every day. Thank you for hanging out. Those of you that are regulars, I appreciate you guys. And trade well. Have a good night, and we'll try to have an update for you tomorrow night. So long.